Brianna, and welcome to how to make my own recycled robot tutorial video. So to begin, we're just gonna go through a list of the materials that we need. So to start, we have a used cereal box with a towel or a used t-shirt on the inside for weight. Then we have aluminum foil that we'll be using to decorate the robot. Then we have a paper towel roll that can be cut in two, or toilet paper rolls, whichever you had is fine. Then we have cans of various sizes. I have two smaller ones and one larger one, and then a straw that can be able to be composted that I will be using for an antenna, but if you have pipe cleaners, that also works. Then we have our caps. They're various colors and various sizes. We'll be using those to make our buttons. Then I have little decorations, which you could also have. They're not necessary though. A pair of scissors and hot glue and a glue stick. For this part, we are going to need our box, cans, glue stick, hot glue, and foil. To start, I lay the cereal box down and take the dull side of the aluminum foil and lay it on the box and cut an inch past the cardboard. Then I fold it into the bottom side and use my glue and glue down the foil to the box. I then turn the box and repeat this process again and fold in my foil at the ends, kind of like a present, and then glue the triangle-shaped foil into the box. I make sure that the top layer and the bottom layer are lined up. I then take my cans, and to wrap them, I lay the cans right onto the foil and roll them until there is enough for the can to be fully covered. I then cut the foil again, and I base it off of how big the can is and how much it needed for the whole can to be covered. I then take the foil and again wrap it like a present with the triangle sides, and if there's any extra that I think is not necessary, I just cut it off and follow that same process. I then, to make the arms of the robot, take my paper towel roll and cut it in two. I try to do this as evenly as possible, and using the same process that I did with the cans, I take the paper towel roll and I put it in the aluminum foil, dull side up, and I roll my paper towels to a point where I think it is enough, and then I begin to cut. Then I glue, and any extra I just cut off. And I don't fold my foil like a present this time. This time I just stuff any extra foil just straight into the roll. I do this for the other side of the arm. Pro tip, for the smaller cans that we are going to be using for the legs, I would recommend leaving the bottom of the can aluminum foil free. It's just easier for the robot to stand this way. So at the end we should have a wrapped cereal box, a wrapped large can, two smaller cans, and the paper towel rolls. Our next step is to assemble everything together. I use my hot glue gun for this. To do this, I just put the glue on the rim of the can and I hold each leg for 30 seconds. I do this for both legs, just putting the glue on the brim of the can and then applying it straight to the box and holding for 30 seconds. I then make sure that both cans are able to stand on their own and can hold the weight of the robot. If more pressure needs to be added or more glue needs to be added, I would also recommend doing that. I then take my paper towel and again I just put the glue on the brim of the paper towel and hold for 30 seconds. Finally, I attach the head. After a quick scenery change comes my favorite part, where we are going to start decorating our robots. To start, take your sheet of printer paper and any colored marker and make a rectangle. Then add as many lines as you want to your mouth and cut that piece out and put it to the side. Also make sure you have your hot glue gun ready for this part. Start by taking your 3 largest caps and lay them diagonally across the center of the robot on the cereal box. If your caps do not fit diagonally straight across, put them in any orientation that you think looks neat. I just did this by applying hot glue to the rim of the caps and then just holding them onto the cereal box lightly for around 10 seconds. And I did this for all 3 of my caps. Then I took my water bottle caps. I used this for my eyes. I glued them to the center of the robot head, but if you do not have plastic water bottle caps, any small plastic caps or metal will work just fine. You could also color in any cap to make an eyeball. And then take the mouthpiece we put off to the side and add that right under your eyes. After that, I took 3 of my caps that were medium sized and glued them to the top of my robot right next to each other towards the right side of the robot and cereal box. To do this, I also just put the glue across the brim of the caps and I held each cap for around 10 seconds. And I used the same method for all 3 caps. After I glue on the 3 medium-sized caps to the top of the robot, I take any remaining caps that I have. They could be smaller or larger, it doesn't really matter as long as it fits the bottom of the robot, and I lay all of the caps that are remaining on the robot in a straight line. It doesn't need to be a straight line if you do not have the space, it could just be in any orientation that looks good and will add a nice design to your robot. I only had 4 for mine, so it doesn't matter how many you also have. After I laid my caps, I'm going to start working on my antenna. My antenna is made out of straw because I didn't have any pipe cleaners. So what I did is I took my straw, I put glue on the bottom of my straw, and I put my red tassel decoration straight to it, which I also hot glued on. And then I just attached it right to the top of my robot. But if you have pipe cleaners, add one to each side of the tin and then you'll have a cool shape. And this is the final product.